So yesterday we saw Naoya Inoue versus Naeun Kim. Now, he was a late opponent. He was a late replacement. It was meant to be Sam Goodman in a mandatory defence. He pulled out before Christmas, meant to take place on Christmas Eve, pulled out before Christmas with a cut. The cut never healed, so he came in as a late replacement. Naoya Inoue did what he so often does. In fact, he did what he normally does. Gets a big highlight reel knockout. This one in particular was quite amusing in a way. You know, Naeun Kim goaded Naoya Inoue to hit him. He obliged, and that's just, you don't do that. There are things in life you just don't do. Ask Naoya Inoue to hit you would be one of them. In fact, it'd be quite high on many people's list. Don't do that. But let's talk about Inoue. Naoya Inoue he's a strange fighter. Not a strange fighter in a bad way. Don't take that the wrong way. He's tremendous. He has been tremendous for boxing in Japan. He is, in many ways, and I'm not using these as a comparison, they're as good as one another, because they're not. Naoya Inoue is leagues ahead of this guy in every aspect. But when Anthony Joshua was having his real prime in terms of his popularity in the UK, you could liken that to Anthony Joshua in the UK, say 2016 to 2018, to Naoya Inoue in Japan. He's massive over there. He's absolutely massive, and he's been able to build his career primarily over there. You know, a lot of people, criticizing him. Oh, he's always in Japan. He's always in Japan. He's fought in America about 2 or 3 times now. He fought in there in 2017. I know he fought in the bubble, and I think he fought there as well one more time. And he's fought in Glasgow, Scotland for his sins. He's fought in Glasgow, Scotland. He's been around. His next fight, he said, is likely going to be in Las Vegas, culminating in a fight in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, because he has now signed a deal with Riyadh Season. So we are going to get to see, I can't believe it, we're going to get to see, can you imagine the card? It's going to be a massive card. Could you imagine Naoya Inoue on the undercard? That'll be epic. Why am I talking so highly of Inoue? Because this is a guy who, when he turned over pro, I remember, you can even see it, go on his Wikipedia page, he made an agreement not to take easy fights. And when you look at his early career, I think his first maybe 2 or 3 or so fights were against whoever. His name escapes me because I don't have my phone in front of me, but it's Ryo something. It was for a Japanese title. It was a 10-rounder at 108 pounds. That guy he actually beat over 10 rounds, went on to become a world champion, just so you know. And Inoue was fighting at 108 pounds, won his WBC title, I think it was 2014 when he won that, and he chose to move up in weight, not even to flyweight, to bypass flyweight, to go straight to super flyweight, to take on Omar Navarre, I believe it was, who was a long-reigning WBO champion, mind you, a long-reigning champion, and widely regarded as the best in the division. Inoue went in there and he decimated him in 2 rounds. And from then, it's just been the Inoue show. It's been fantastic. I mean, you could argue it's been that since the start of his career. But this is a guy who, I think he's got a good chin, but there's the vulnerability there because his defense is not the strongest, but his footwork is amazing. He's always in punching range. He's always on balance. And my God, the sound of his shots when you hear them bang. In Japan, even though the arenas are big, they're quite quiet. They really don't do anything. When the fight is going, they're not cheering, they're not doing anything. They're only really cheering when there's drama. So you can hear the thud, the smack, the impact of those shots, and good Lord, they sound immense. Inoue has had some great fights, like against Daenerys in the first fight. He's had some tremendous moments in there. And what's the key thing? When has he ever been in a boring fight? He's always been in entertaining fights. He's always been in fights where he's looked in control, and then maybe he's had a moment or two where you've looked and thought, oh, and then he's been able to get it back. Even when he was dropped against Lewis Neary, there was no worry, because a lot of fighters like Inoue, they can be on top fighters, they trust their power, they know if they hit someone they go, but when they're hit back and they have to come through adversity, they're like, what do I do? You look at someone like Sergey Kovalev, when it got hard against Andre Ward both times. Kovalev's a real bully of a fighter, great fighter, but real bully. It was a real case of, oh, he's hitting me low. It's like, mate, you're meant to be the bully and now you're complaining. And you see them, I know he was hit low a good few times against Andre Ward, to be fair, but you see how it is. With Inoue, he was really badly hurt in the first Daenerys fight, and he knew instantly to hold. And I think he even had an eye injury from early on. He was able to come through all that and win the fight. Close fight, but he won the fight. He was dropped against Lewis Neary, and it almost looked like he was just, it was almost like that was the worst thing Neary could have done, because Inoue really went in there to try and punish him after that, and he really put a beating on him. I think Naoya Inoue is tremendous. He's been tremendous for Japanese boxing, and I think he's been tremendous for boxing in a whole. It's frustrating to me that a lot of fans, whether they be, it's more so in America, but you do see it with UK fans as well, where they're like, yeah, but you know, who are these guys? Who's Naoya Inoue? Need I remind you who Naoya Inoue is? We all know who he is. He's beat Lewis Neary, a very, very good fighter in his own right. TJ Doheny, yeah, he'd seen better days, but he was having a bit of an Indian summer in his career. Marlon Tapalas, he was unified champion. He beat MJ Akhmadaliev, who I'd love to see Inoue fight MJ Akhmadaliev. I think that would be a really intriguing fight. Really intriguing. Styles make fights. He might have lost to Marlon Tapalas, but there you go. He beat Stephen Fulton, Omar Navarre, as I said. Who else did he beat? Jamie McDonald, we all remember that. He absolutely tore through 118 pounds. We all remember that. That was quite impressive, to be honest with you. World Boxing Super Series, the winner of that. He's built an incredible, and again, a bit like Alexander Usyk, albeit he's not done the travelling. It's just straight in there. Like, he was undisputed in 2 fights at 122. And again, he's talked about going to America to fight in his next fight, culminating in a fight in Riyadh season. He weighed in 138 the morning after. So he put on roughly a stone overnight. So yeah, you would imagine that now is the time where he probably could look to go to 126. I think he'll have another fight at 122 before then. But if he goes to 126, the name that people are talking about is Nick Ball. I love the fight. Nick Ball is going to go in there with TJ Doheny. It'd be interesting to see if he can do a better job than Naoya Inoue did. If these two meet, it's going to be... oh boy, that's going to be some fight. I think it'll be phenomenal. I think it'll be brilliant. I'll make Inoue favourite. I think Ball defensively just makes too many mistakes, and he's not a fighter, Inoue, who you want to give opportunity to hit you clean. But I think Inoue is tremendous. I cannot fathom why people are so insistent on him fighting Tank Davis, and why this fight keeps getting talked about. You're talking about a guy at lightweight versus a guy at featherweight, or sorry, not even featherweight, super bantamweight, who started his career at 108 pounds. Tank Davis won his first title at 130 pounds. Right? He won his first world title against Pedraza 2017 at 130 pounds. Inoue won his first world title 2014 at 108 pounds. Weight divisions are there for a reason, people. They're there for a reason. Inoue is weighing 138 the morning after the weigh-in. Okay, that's fine. So he's essentially a super welterweight, or sorry, a super lightweight the next day. How much is Tank Davis weighing in a month before a fight? It wouldn't, like, it would be a complete mismatch. Tank Davis versus Inoue. You're talking about a guy going up multiple weight divisions to fight someone. Why? I can't fathom that. Inoue is doing his thing at these lower weights. He's putting eyes on the lower weights, which there's so many good fighters in these lower weight divisions, like Nakatani, who, look, I'm guilty of it too. We don't talk enough about, because they're not up. They're not like 130 north, which is a shame really, because we've got some great fighters here. And if it wasn't for Inoue putting eyes on this, heaven forbid where we'd be. But I think Inoue is a tremendous talent. He really, truly is. And I think we need to enjoy him. He's going to go on 32 come April. So 32 years of age. We've probably got another couple of years with Inoue yet. But let's enjoy him while we have him, because he is tremendous. And like Usyk, he is willing to just go in there, boom, let's do it. Let's make the fight. That's Naoya Inoue. And I credit him massively. He's active. He's fought how many times last year, and he's going to be fighting multiple times this year. Credit to Naoya Inoue. And I think he is a tremendous, tremendous talent. And I think the likes of him, Crawford, Usyk, the 3 best fighters in the world, beyond any shadow of doubt. Whatever order you want to have them, that's the order you'll have them. But these have been so good for boxing and getting boxing to a better place. That's what I got to say on that. Let me know your thoughts on Naoya Inoue. I think he is a very, very, very bad man. Do you agree? Let me know. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, people, peace.